Good morning everyone, welcome to Gendera. I'm Geraldine and we're back with the chickens again. Now, I haven't had any more chicks hatch, and what's worse is I had 3 of the chicks that did hatch drown because I had a container in here that I'd given the girls some scraps in, and it rained and it filled up with water, and 3 of the chicks jumped in there and died, which was just absolutely devastating. And the other eggs that I had sitting under the second mum, which is that one, she stepped on a few, crushed a few, and then decided she just wasn't sitting on it because the nest had gotten really disgusting and yucky. So what I've decided to do is I've actually gotten a dozen Rhode Island red eggs from somebody off my property so that I'm getting in some new Rhode Island red genes into the gene pool of my property, which is something I've been wanting to do, which is why I actually had booster with these girls in the first place, because I wanted different Rhode Island red genetics in my flock, because any chicks that I hatch myself are related to my rooster. So instead of using my own eggs, I've actually bought eggs from somewhere else that are not related to my chickens. So time around I'm being intentional on my intent to try and encourage one broody hen who is still broody, and is fighting with the other hen quite a bit over the chicks. I'm hoping that she will actually sit on those eggs for me. I'm going to give it a couple of days and just see how she goes, and hopefully she can hatch a new flock of Rhode Island Reds. I've actually got 2 dozen eggs, and I'm going to, as you can see, these 2 girls are not happy. There's 2 clucky hens over 3 chicks. It's just not working. And initially they were sitting on a good dozen eggs, 2 dozen eggs actually they were sitting on, and only 6 hatched, and that was because only 4 eggs were laid a day. It wasn't an intentional trying to get the chicken broody to hatch eggs. I didn't actually even know they were there. It was I had a vicious rooster in here and I couldn't get in to get the eggs. So it didn't work well at all. So I'm hoping, I mean, this is the first time I've actually tried doing this. But I do know that she's broody and she's looking for eggs to sit on. So hopefully she will hop up there and find those eggs. But yeah, so make sure you like and subscribe to the channel to keep track of what's happening. These little chicks are just so cute. It was so sad when the other 3 died. So sad. They've got a bug and they're fighting over it. They're doing very well. They got something that they're fighting over. They're having fun anyway. It's nothing quite like chicks to brighten your day. Which is the other reason I'm wanting to hatch some chickens. The other thing that's absolutely amazing about this is the mummy hens are digging up this area amazingly to find feed for the chicks, which is fantastic. That's our little chick's got a beetle. Our little chick's got a beetle. Now, the one problem with hatching eggs is I'm probably going to get over 50% roosters. So I might have a dozen eggs in there and another dozen to put under the other hen, but they won't all be hens. Most of them are going to be roosters. That's just what happens when you hatch eggs. See, she's still very much wanting to find some eggs to sit on and raise. So I'm really hoping this works. Otherwise I'm down $30. But yeah, fertile Rhode Island red eggs are a bit expensive. And I'm a bit disappointed with these ones. They're not quite as clean as I would like them to be. When I used to sell Rhode Island red eggs, I would make sure that they were nice and clean. And these ones obviously had muck that was wiped off. I'm hoping they weren't washed, but What do you do? I've got 2 eggs of my own in there as well that are not Rhode Island Reds. So, but yeah, they're doing a fantastic job turning over all of this bedding. And most of that is because the hens are trying to find food for the chicks and teach them how to forage, which is fantastic. They never dug down this deep when they were in here on their own. So really, really, really pleased with this. It's making some fantastic mulch, and not just mulch. That's some fantastic growing medium, that is. I really need to take it out and put it in the garden and put fresh load of mulch and wood chips in here for them to turn that into gardening material. That chick has got a beetle that it's just eaten. That was very cute. I think I missed it, sorry. But the mums are doing a fantastic job. Sis, make sure you subscribe to the channel to keep track and see whether or not this actually works. Ideally, you probably want to actually have fake eggs in there for a while, get the chicken sitting, then swap over the eggs to the real fertile ones. But I've already got a broody hen. It's just a matter of getting her back on the eggs again, and hopefully she'll stay on the eggs. Honestly, I could sit here and watch these chicks all day. They're just so cute. I can't do them justice with my phone. I might actually put that nesting box, because they actually started nesting with them up there. I might put the nesting box down on the ground and see what happens. The main reason I didn't do that was because I didn't want rodents to get the eggs. But she might be more likely to find them. I have seen her go up there and check the nesting box a few times. I might leave it an hour or two, see what happens, and come back. I haven't tried sexing these chicks yet, so I've got no idea whether they're boys or girls. And I think there's a reasonable chance the little yellow one might be a girl. I think the little black one's a boy. But it's a pure guess. Oh, I'm looking at the feathers and noting the feather development. Let me know what you think. I think that one's a girl. And I think that one might be a boy. I got no idea about that one. Anyway, I'll be back in a few hours. Well, it's late in the afternoon now, and she's perched up there. I think this has been a fail, so I'm going to try putting the eggs in under the other broody hen. Okay, a slight change of plan again. So I've brought that nesting box in here with all of the hens, and I do have one Rhode Island Red in there that is broody, and that's the hen that I just brought in from the other pen that was broody. So I'm wondering whether or not it's because the chicks are in the other pen that she wasn't going to go sit on the eggs. So I have an option. I'm going to leave that in here overnight and see if there's anyone in there by the morning and whether anyone's going to sit on the eggs. I have got those eggs all marked. So the rooster's protecting the new hen slightly from the other Rhode Island Red hen. But other than that, I've got the possibility of a few other hens that might decide to go broody and sit on those eggs. Hopefully they don't break any of them. They're going to investigate them. If no one sits on them, I'm actually going to swap them out and put them underneath that hen. So I will see how that goes tomorrow. So yes, and I'll update you in another video in a few days on how that all went. So that is my plan. So yes, hopefully she doesn't go in. I haven't had any problems with them pecking eggs before, so should be okay. I'm not quite sure what he's up to. But the rooster does seem to be trying to keep everybody nice and calm and happy. Red rooster is a great rooster. Hopefully he doesn't go and step on those eggs. Ooh, he's pecking at something in there. This could end up being a very messy disaster, or it could work really well. I do have a dust bath in here for the girls, so it's a bit of DE, so diatomaceous earth, and wood ash, along with some bits of charcoal. I've also put some DE at the bottom of that nesting box. So who knows, time will tell. Hopefully this doesn't become very, very bad. That does not look good. Time will tell. We'll see how things go. Could be very bad. Could be okay. There's a reasonable chance there'll be more eggs added to that box before the end of the day. Well, tomorrow morning. But I will probably end up putting it under my Rhode Island red hen that's actually broody there. That's probably what I will end up doing. Red rooster doing his little rooster dance. Isn't it gorgeous? I've just given the girls some weeds. Anyway, you have a great day. I need to get some more bedding in here too, and take this some layer out at some point. That's not the ideal nesting box for her to be in, because it's quite difficult to move, whereas the lawnmower catchers, they are awesome to move. But it's a real pain in the butt to move. And the eggs she's sitting on, I'm not sure how long she's been sitting on them for. Yeah, and they've got a little bucket over there full of eggshells. So what I do is when we use an egg, crack it open obviously, then I'll clean the eggshell, then I'll put it in the oven, and then I crush it down to eggshells, so that creates a nice little calcium source as well as grit. And then that little blue container, I actually put black soldier fly larvae in, which I get from my pod. I already harvested it today. So I'll show you some of that in a minute. Maybe tomorrow. I've been harvesting a few from them every day. Probably a handful. It's another source of protein for my girls. Eventually hoping to decrease my dependence on store-bought grain and pellets. They love the eggshells though. And it keeps the eggshells nice and hard when they lay them. Well, there's the update on the attempt on getting the hen to be broody on those eggs. So we will come back tomorrow. Oh, actually, I'm going to wait to publish this until I see how things go tomorrow. Well, it's the following morning, and that is very unfortunate. I think I got a white hen there laying an egg, but I'm going to have to move those eggs and try popping them under the Rhode Island Red. Really, Red Rooster? Is that the case? That is very, very disappointing. Anyway, you have a great day. Bless you. Well, it's the following morning, and that is very unfortunate. I think I got a white hen there laying an egg, but I'm going to have to move those eggs and try popping them under the Rhode Island Red. Really, Red Rooster? Is that the case? That is very, very disappointing. Let's have a look at how many black soldier flies we harvested overnight. Look at that. It's nice. Give that to the chickens. Pop that in their feeder. Oh, happy chicks, happy chicks. I'm going to get them some food. So it's been a few hours, and I put the dozen eggs over there, and I put the Rhode Island Red's eggs there, and she found them. She went back to her eggs, but it looks like I do have another hen that's happy to sit on the dozen eggs. So as to how many of those she's going to hatch, because she is not as big a bird as my Rhode Island Red hen. I was really hoping she was going to sit on them, but she has decided not. So that's all good. It's all good. So I have one hen on a dozen Rhode Island Red eggs, and one Rhode Island Red hen on 6 or so random eggs, possibly Rhode Island red eggs, but they'll be red roosters offspring. And I'm going to set up the incubator with the other dozen. I set up one of my old incubators, which I've had a great deal of success with this incubator in the past, but it can get a bit noisy. It's quite quiet at the moment, but I haven't got any eggs in there at the moment. I'm just testing the humidity level and the temperature level and getting it up to temp before I put the dozen eggs in there. And we'll see how they go, huh? Compare the difference between the hatch rate from a chicken and an incubator. So this is the Janelle 24. As I said, I've had a lot of success with this incubator in the past, but to see how I go with this hatch rate, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. And if you do want to support the channel, I've got links in the description and on my about page on how you can support my channel. So yes, I'll give that a few hours to just get up to temperature. Ideally I should leave it 24 hours, but I'm not going to, because I want to have it so that these chicks hatch around the same time. Because I will probably end up putting these chicks, once they hatch, with the hen. Now, it's not ideal to have the incubator in this sort of situation where it's right next to the door, because it's got a lot of breeze and that can really mess up the temperatures. So I'm probably going to put maybe a styrofoam box here and there, just to give it a bit more protection, but I don't want it in the main section of the house at the moment. And I will possibly move it over the 21 days of the hatching. But I'll be back soon to show you how I set that all up and how that works. So yes, very exciting. Okay, so the temperature's up to 37.6. I don't know if you can see the humidity readers, but we'll open up and we'll have a look and see what they're saying. So I'm going to turn it off. Just because that's going to make it easier for me to actually get the eggs in there and not have the fan going constantly. Hopefully I don't knock you over. I didn't quite knock you over, but nearly knocked you off. So we're currently reading at over 75 as our humidity. So it's a little bit high, but that will come down. And I do have another one. It's reading slightly lower, so I'm not sure which one's accurate, but the main thing is it's actually doing the humidity thing. So I'm going to have to put in water every couple of days. And I don't actually have, and here are my eggs that I'm putting in. So they're Rhode Island red eggs. And hopefully I've got my spacers set up right. I might need to move them slightly. I think they're a bit close. Yeah, they're a bit close. So I'll start from this other end. And I'll fast forward this so you don't have to watch the whole thing, because it'll be a bit tedious. Okay, so I forgot this actually holds 24 eggs, not 12. Anyway, so I could have actually put the entire two dozen in here, but it's all good. I don't know how I forgot that. It's been a long time since I've hatched chickens. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. So I actually grabbed 3 of my chicken eggs. I hope they're not Rhode Island Reds. I hope they're actually the crossbreed chickens that I've got. And I'm going to go check to see if I've got any more eggs around the place now to fill up that rest. I may actually put in some more eggs over the next couple of days, but I will decide that over the next couple of days. because it's not a tragedy to have the incubator going and not having it full. But yes, that is setting up the incubator. So I'm going to put you on time lapse so you can actually watch it do its thing. So the way this incubator works is there's a little bar in here and it goes around in circles, and as it goes around in circles it drags this tray backwards and forwards. So I'm going to pop you on a time lapse so you can actually watch the eggs moving. Okay, so I've actually just put in six more of the Rhode Island red eggs, just because that white hen that's sitting on the eggs is, her bottom's a bit small and she just can't cover the whole lot. So as much as I could fit another few eggs in, I'm not going to, but see how it rolls it backwards and forwards? Hopefully you saw that really well in the time lapse. I do need to keep an eye on them to make sure they don't kind of do the spin thing like that lot just did. Might make that just a little bit smaller. And that one a smidge smaller. Automatic turners are wonderful, but you do need to keep a bit of an eye on them still, just to make sure wacky stuff doesn't happen, like what's trying to happen here at the moment. So that's basically going to be them for the next 21 days. Well, no, 18 days. I'm going to have them with the, whoops, I'm going to line that little thing up and make sure I get it all into the slots properly and there's no gaps anywhere. And now I can turn it back on. So, and I will put the humidity checker back in as well. I'm going to put that over there. Right, so that way I can just look in there and make sure that the humidity is right and should be all good. So yeah, so the next 18 days they will have that little automatic turner thing going, and I'll add more water using a special little squeezy bottle. Day 5 or 6 I might come in and candle them just to see how the development's going. I don't always do that, but it'll be interesting to see. And we'll go from there. So yeah, 18 days they'll go into lockdown, and then day 21 they should start hatching, although I usually have them start hatching a bit earlier than that. Well, I haven't used this incubator for a long time. I can't remember what it does, but it is one of my better ones. The main reason I stopped using it was because it didn't have a humidity monitor, and I got a different one that did have a humidity monitor, but it didn't give me half as good a hatch rate as this one did. So I really like this brand of incubator, and I'll try and remember to leave a link up there to a video where I compared 3 different incubators. So yeah, anyway, remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to see how these little eggs go and to catch up with everything that's happening on the homestead. You have a great one. Bless you.